Hi everybody. Take like 87 on this video. I tried to film this once this afternoon, and there was work going on in my alley, and you couldn't. Oh, that's all you could hear. And I tried to close the window, and it was way too hot in here when I did that. It's still really damn hot in here. And then I was trying again, and some updates happened while I was doing it. So yeah, I stopped and kind of waited to see what was going on. And then I just attempted to do this again and was like right near the end. I could see my phone kept lighting up, that somebody kept messaging me. And I glanced over and it was my friend. And I just see it, the last text that came up said, and he's heading down the alley now. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? Thinking like I need to, grab my baseball bat and head down there and open a can of whoop ass on somebody. But then I look at the text and it's a raccoon. Everybody's fine. It's a raccoon running down our alley. So yeah, I panicked for nothing. I'm gonna put my phone away upside down so I don't even see what's going on, so I can get through this video. So yeah, basically, I'm gonna go over like 24 hours in a day, 24 hours in the life of me as an eBay seller in this video. You won't even believe the things that I have to deal with. So to start with, I don't know how well you can see, but I got ink all over myself. A black ink cartridge exploded on me yesterday. Luckily, did not go down to anything important, but it still sucked. And I was wearing a white shirt too, and I'm surprised. I got a little bit on the side, but I'm surprised that wasn't worse than it was. I sold an item this morning. I had a lot of sales over the weekend. I hope everybody else's sales are good. Mine were awesome. So yeah, I had a sale. I had everything else packaged and thought, okay, I'll just package this quick and take it with me while I'm at the post or while I'm going to the post office. Yeah, do you think I could find the certificate that came with it? No, I couldn't. I could find I found the item. I could find everything else I listed that day. Like it's all in a pile right behind me. Well, not everything else. A few things are in a box down my basement. So we go and we look down there. All we found was a giant spider. Cannot find the certificate anywhere. After like 6 hours of looking, I finally found it under my printer in a stack of papers. Like it didn't make sense for it to be there, especially when, like, why would I have had it? Why would I have brought it back up? I took the photo downstairs. Why would I have brought everything back upstairs, set it there, but then taken that certificate and put it over somewhere completely different where it didn't make sense to put it? So yeah, that was weird. And yeah, no, we can't even blame Steve because he doesn't. I do all like the listings. I create all the listings. So and even the packaging, he'll help me a little bit, but that's only if I like give him something and say package this. Sometimes he has to find stuff for me because I'm not very good at finding things, but like that's just still didn't make sense. And I just listed that. I need a pen. I'm gonna mark things off as I go to my list of what I gotta tell everybody. My stalker. There's an update. I thought there was not an update. I didn't hear back from the cops today. But then tonight there was an update. But I'm not going to tell you yet. I will make a different video because I have more phone calls to make, and there will be more tomorrow. So I'm just going to do a whole video on that. So check back tomorrow, and I will tell you what has happened with my stalker. I had a buyer message me last week about an item. He bought the item. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at my list here. He was sending me messages about an item, and it's the actor, just a generic photo of the actor. And he asked if I had any of him in a character photos. And I said no. The only one I had of him in character was signed by other cast members as well. And like you could tell he was like poor or cheap or something. Well, how much for that one? 200 Canadian if you're interested, because he's in Canada. And this is the account where I'm experimenting with some Canadian listings, seeing if I can get some Canadians to buy. If you're ever thinking about that, don't. We are fine with paying US currency. We are very used to it. The Americans won't buy anything because they think they can't. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. Experiment failed. I'm starting to switch everything back. But anyways, this guy was Canadian. He was from Quebec. And yeah, he asked me how much for the other thing. I told him 200 Canadian, just for you. You'll get a special deal. And what's the lowest he'll take? 200 Canadian. If I list this for anybody else, it's going to be in US and it's going to be listed at more. Like that would be the least amount I would be taking is 200 US. But yeah, he's trying to be nice because I kind of got a soft spot for the Canadians because I understand 30% exchange rate on US things sucks. But yeah, he was being cheap, and I didn't hear from him for a day or two. And then he sent an offer, kind of lowballed me a little bit, but I'd had this item for a while because yeah, everybody wants a character photo, not just generic. So yeah, I accepted his offer. He gets the item today and sends me a message and says it's damaged. And I was like, well, what do you mean it's damaged? Like, what the hell? And he had photos. And yeah, there's a sharp crease, not just like a little not laying flat. It was a sharp fold. I was like, how the fuck did that happen? I get photos in the mail, and sometimes there's not even any protective packaging. It's just in an envelope or thin little chipboard, like it's basically cardstock. But no, when I send a photo, this is what's going in the thick 2 layers of thick cardboard. That's like a cardboard box. Like it's sturdy. You're gonna have to force it to bend it. Plus, I always put an extra little layer. Oh, I got hairs on this. So it's an extra layer of protection. This is not easily getting damaged. So you could, if you really tried, but you think when you'd start to try, you'd be like, oh, this shouldn't bend. And yeah, the guys are in Quebec, so maybe the mailman couldn't read English and didn't couldn't read the do not bend stickers that were all over it. But I really got the feeling like this buyer did this himself when he got it because he either couldn't afford it or was having buyer's remorse because it wasn't the one he wanted. So yeah, this is one of the updates that happened while I was trying to film this. So he replied again because I said I'll send you a return shipping label. But I'm also going to need that packaging and everything back because Canada Post is going to ask for that. And he sent me photos of it, and I don't think it makes sense. The envelope, like he sent pictures of the envelope, which is it's a paper envelope and it's all taped up. So that all that tape is adding extra protection. Like if you try to fold it, like that tape isn't going to stretch. The paper can't rip because there's tape over it, and the tape isn't going to stretch. So yeah, it was questionable, and it was really wrinkled. Like it looked like after the fact, like after he'd maybe removed something and bent it, then he just crumpled in a ball the envelope. That's what it looks like. And then yeah, when I said the return shipping label is being sent so we can return it, he says, okay, so are you gonna issue a refund or are you gonna send me a different photo? I don't have a different photo. We determined this. So yeah, I really think he did it himself. The only other item in 20 years that's ever been damaged, and I don't even count it, was one that was stabbed. It had stab marks. And how do you protect an item against that? It doesn't matter how well you package something. If somebody comes up with a knife and starts stabbing, it's fucked. So yeah, I don't even count that one because it wasn't like it was damaged during normal transit. So yeah, there was that. Another buyer last night sent a message asking about an autograph, asking if it's a reprint. I directed them to look at the listing and the close-up photo, because a reprint autograph, it's being printed off in a printer. So, like with a pen, you'll have overlapping where the ink, the marker is intersecting itself. But if you print something, the ink is just going straight across, going down on the paper. So it lays flat. So I said, if you look at the close-up photo of the signature, because I always get the close-up photo so you can see that. I said you can see, especially in this one spot where it's overlapping. It's definitely not a reprint. And yeah, he didn't know what he was doing or what he was buying. He was buying something as a gift for his daughter or something. So we sent an offer. I accepted, he paid, and like half an hour later or something, he's like, oh, cancel this. He's all paranoid because the I wasn't dotted. I'm like, you're dumb. Like, honestly, like that, it doesn't always have to be dotted. Like, it wasn't even like a real argument he's making. I don't know why. I just threw my pen away. I need that. Yeah, so normally I would just say, fuck you, you wasted my time, you wasted my listing, I'm going to send it, and if you don't want it, you can just send it back at your expense. However, as you will see, I have too many idiots to deal with. So I will cancel it, but I'm going to wait out my 3-day handling time before I do. Because you waste my time and my listings, which is my money, I can leave your money tied up for 3 days. And yeah, and this is, it's going to be, I'm probably not even halfway through everything. This is going to be a long video. I'm very sorry. I had another guy. This is the offer, the $408 offer that I declined. Guy messaged me last week, 0 feedback, and sends a message saying he has another account that's like a family account that he's not using anymore or something. Wants to buy an item, and he didn't want to just send an offer. He wanted to make it more personal and explain his situation, and he's waiting for a check, and he really wants this item, and he's been watching it for a while, and he wondered if we could make a deal around $500. Most people would freak out about this completely because, oh, they're saying they have another account. Oh, there's 0 feedback. Doesn't bother me at all. Yes, totally. I will make a deal with you. This item's been listed for a while with no offers and only like 1 message from somebody who didn't actually seem interested, and that was last fall when I listed it. So sequel is coming out. If it sucks and people don't like it, then it's not going to sell. They're not going to be buying merchandise. But I'm still hopeful. In the week since he messaged me, it went up from 2 watchers to 12. So fingers are crossed. But yeah, I asked if he could do $550, and he said yes. He was just waiting to get a check, and he had sent the offer in a couple days when he had it. Wednesday, he sent a message, and he said that it looked like his check was going to be less than he thought, but he was going to scrounge every last dime he had to buy this. And I just ignored that one. I didn't even reply because at that point I'm like, this guy really doesn't have money. Probably doesn't even actually have a check coming. I ignored it. He messaged me again this morning saying he got the check, but yeah, it's once he scrounges all his money, he's coming up short. Wondered if we could do a deal for $480, and I said no. Why? Because I don't want to be thinking that somebody's going without something that they might need because they saw a cool item and wanted it. Yes, people should learn to spend their money wisely. It's not your problem. I can't. I really can't. I don't know if these people have kids. If you have a kid that isn't going to be eating for the next 2 weeks. Or, he's in the States, so if he breaks his arm, that could be like a $250,000 medical bill right there for breaking your damn arm or something. Like, I can't. I don't want the last of someone's money. Also, because if somebody is going to give you the very last little bit of money they have to buy something, if they need that back or they start to regret their decision, you're asking for a case to be opened, a return to be opened. You know, buyer's remorse is probably the number one reason for claims on eBay. And especially with the kind of stuff I sell, like that's a really cool item. Like, yeah, you need your money back and you can't afford that. You got rent to pay and you don't know what you're gonna do, but you don't want to give up that item. There's problems. And again, not saying that would have happened. I'm not being paranoid about it, but that is a reason for things. So yeah, so for a couple of reasons I said no. And then he replied again, saying that it was actually he'd be okay because he still had people kind of taking care of him. It was a student loan check that he's waiting for. He just didn't have as much money left over from it as he thought he would. So, kind of brings up another point. So that did explain his zero feedback, because if he's going off to school now, he's probably just turning 18 and now all on his own. Probably used like his parents' account before, and now he needs his own account. So everybody starts somewhere. But yeah, slow sales in the summer. A lot of sellers are complaining about slow sales right now. Almost everybody, depending what you sell, like unless you're selling pool noodles, your sales are going to slow down. Online sales in the summertime, even not online sales. Like my husband sells Android boxes, and his sales are pretty slow in summer. But depending on what you sell, again, your sales should start to pick up mid-August to mid-September. People are on holidays right now. They have other things to spend their money on. I don't even know. I was watching something the other day, and I don't even know if in the States you get paid holidays. I don't think, it sounded like that's not a thing down there. So, yeah, can't afford it. Have other expenses. Kids are going to be going back to school. School supplies are damn expensive, which is why you can't just expect that September 1st, your sales are going to be back to normal, because if they're spending, $1,000 for their kids' school supplies for the year, they're not shopping on eBay. Unless you're selling school supplies. So, yeah, I noticed my sales go up mid-August because of this reason. People get their student loans and have money left and spend it stupidly. Anyways, that's that story. Two other buyers that had messaged me this morning. I think it's the same person, because both messages came in around 3 a.m. And you've heard me talk about this. I don't like 3 a.m. buyers. I'm not taking offers or anything from them anymore. Yeah, and I got up at like 5, and they were both replying right away. So I really think this is the same guy, 2 accounts. One sent me a message asking, do you know when and where this was signed, and do you have proof? Yeah, that says right in the listing if you had actually looked at it. So the fact you're not, it's like my stalker who didn't look or read anything. If you're not looking or reading anything, I don't want to, I got hiccups now. I don't want to deal with you. And he was a reseller, I could tell that. So I can't be bothered. I replied back and I said, that's all in the listing. No, it's not. Yeah, it definitely is. Like if he had actually looked, there was a photo of the documentation right there. And yeah, proof photos, I always say they don't prove anything. Even if you can see the item, that just proves one of them. One of those items was signed. Does not actually prove anything. The other item, again, the message said, what's the lowest you'll take on this? And it's pretty reasonably priced already. And you could get way cheaper if you just picked up an auction. I was looking yesterday when I listed it to see what they're selling for. Auctions, you could get one for like $3, like almost nothing. But then like $3, $3, $3. 50 bucks, 40 bucks, 3, 3, 5, 12, 70. Like it's, yeah. I should look into that a little more and stock up on some auctions. As somebody I didn't really consider until the opportunity arose. So yeah, I would say for a buy now price with I take offers, it's pretty reasonable. But yeah, what's the lowest I'll take? I said if you want to make an offer, there's an option to do so on the listing. Well, what's the lowest you'll take? I said, what's the most you're willing to pay? And he didn't reply till about 4 hours later, and then he sends me a really angry message. This is the third time I've had to ask you this. All right then. Bye. The other one. So I do not like, I have my settings set where you can only buy one item from me every 10 days. Because yeah, I'm dealing high-end collectibles. Or comics that are a problem category, it seems. I attract a lot of resellers, and as you can see, a lot of just idiots and scammers. So that's my settings. I don't care. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If on the few times I have allowed somebody to buy a second item from me, I don't combine shipping. You gotta pay. You pay for both items. I'll let you buy two, but you're gonna pay for both of them. So I have two tracking numbers, because on eBay, if somebody buys 5 items from you and says they only got 4, they can be refunded on all 5. It's not just going to only give you the price of one item. It's going to, the whole payment will be seized. If you go back and watch my videos about the buyer from France who tried to scam me, that's how that works. See, don't sell multiple things. But yeah, he sent an offer, like on a $53 or $58 item. He sent me an offer for 45 bucks. Like, it was reasonable enough. I took it. Sent me a message through a different item that I really, I want to get rid of it. I've had a list of forever. It's basically worthless. It needs to just go. So he says, will you combine shipping? And yeah, he's in Malaysia, and I love sending to Southeast Asia. It's one of the first places I was shipping to when I was 16. Great place to send to. Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Philippines. So, yeah, against my better judgment, I said yes, I will combine shipping. And then he sent an offer on a different item. I was like, oh, okay. And that item, he kind of lowballed me, like $75 item. I just listed it too. I'm in no rush to sell it. I'm not worried about it. He offered me like 40 bucks. I was like, oh no, that's too low. I counted at 55, which is like my lowest I wanted to go on that was 55. And he sends me a message and says, well, I'm a reseller. I can only pay 1/3 of the value. I'm like, dude, what do you think I'm doing? Like, come on. So yeah, he said, and then he sent me a message of saying another message saying something about my settings. I changed it to you could buy 2 items, but he said something about the settings again. I'm like, well, how many things are you trying to buy? But yeah, thinking that he's probably not going to take this one because he said something about we just skip it or something like that. I'm like, okay, well, at least let's get this other one gone. So I just added him to the exemption list. And yeah, he sent an offer on the other thing and took that and sent an offer on something else I've had listed forever. That was, yeah, a decent enough offer that I could take it. And yeah, he has 4 items. Anyways, he goes and buys 4 items. But I'm thinking, like, at this point now, he's gone over the weight limit because Canada Post weight limits are like, for letter mail, are like 50 grams, 100 grams, then 200 grams. I'm thinking we're going to be getting close because one photo, without being in a top loader, and I like to do top loaders for international sales, one photo would have been about 120. In a top loader, we're looking at about 150 to 160. And then, yeah, add a second photo into that. So I'm thinking we're going to be already pushing that 200 mark. And then, like, where's the next cutoffs? So I sent him a message. After the 4 were purchased, there's kind of he kind of stopped. And I said, okay, I just got to double check the shipping cost to see what weight category we're in now. I'll send you an invoice with the shipping pretty quick here. Gone on my computer, checked everything out. So about 20 minutes goes by. And he didn't reply to that message. And then another offer comes in. It was that first, like, not like the second item he was trying to get. And he says, well, how about 50? I was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to argue about $5 here. I'll just take the 50. And then I sent the invoice right away. So now it's definitely over that mark. And it was. Anyways, I knew that. So I sent him the invoice. Shipping had gone up from $25 to $40. And he gets all mad. Well, how did it just go from 25 to 40? Because you bought 5 items. The weight changed. And he's like, well, but they're just paper. Yeah, paper still has weight. I'm not mailing you a Kleenex. Even feel a box of Kleenex, compared to 1 Kleenex in a box. Like, paper still has weight to it. And we're talking not just the photos, but you have documentation and certificates. Yeah. I don't know why you would just be assuming what things should be. And I didn't care at that point. Like, honestly, if you don't want them, then you could just not pay and take 5 unpaid item strikes all at once, right? So he paid, and then sends me a message and says, well, this is over $120, so it's going to be subject to duty fees. So don't put anything on the packaging. Doesn't ask, just tells me. No. Had he have asked, that would be a different story. And this would have been going by registered letter. Registered letter or track packet are both $40. It's both going to work out to the same price. So, yeah, if I had sent a registered letter, that's just being considered as documents. It automatically only takes the value at like $60. And there's not even a customs form because it's just a letter. So that wouldn't have been an issue. But yeah, because you have an attitude problem. And you're just going to demand something like that, which is technically illegal. I don't care. But yeah, don't just make demands. Don't just tell somebody what they're going to do. So because you did that, no, I'm going to mark it as it is, and it's going to be going by track packet. Everything will be listed on the customs form on the package, which still won't do me any good. If a case gets opened through eBay or PayPal, they don't care what I said was in it because, again, there's no tracking number. So it'll only be the one tracking number to go for 5 items. So hopefully, I expect something, a case to be opened, but hopefully not. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all my stories for today so far. Again, I'm sorry this is such a long video, but that's a day of my life. I don't know what else. I can tell you about all the good things. I don't even know. I've sold. Actually, I'm not even sure how much I've sold now for dollar amount because of my stalker in that case. But I think, and I spent some money. I probably sold about $1,000 over the weekend. Yeah, sold a couple things that I didn't think were gonna sell. What else? I didn't make a list of all this. I'm trying to think of all the good things to tell you guys. Got a couple feedback on Bonanza today. Haven't got feedback. I hardly have any sales. I had a good little rush of sales, but I don't hardly ever get feedback on Bonanza. So that was cool. Yeah. See, there's not really much to say. Like, everybody always says, oh, I hear all these bad stories about eBay. And I always say, for every bad story, for every scammer, there's probably like 99 stories of sales that went well. But, what do you say about that? Somebody bought something, they paid, they didn't rip me off. there's not much to tell about it. So yeah, I had all these idiots, and I think I had probably another 12 to 15 sales that have been fine and haven't presented a problem, and I don't think will present a problem. Oh, that was someone else that I had to tell you about. Another guy opened a return request, but provided like no information in his thing. So I don't even know what's going on with that. I accepted it, and he hasn't shipped anything back yet. Yeah, I'll tell you more about that if it ever comes to anything. But yeah, that is all for this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with me on this extremely long video, a day in the life of me as an eBay seller. Check back tomorrow because I will update you on my stalker. And thanks for watching. Good night.